Really, all we're going to talk about tonight is basically like questions, answers. We'll keep it open forum. What I would like to talk about, because it's a topic of interest to me, is work-life Beachbody balance. Because the last month or so has been incredibly challenging for me, and I know that some of you have probably had some of the same challenges. We are not 15-star diamonds. We're all doing this full time yet, so I think we're definitely trying to get there. So this is definitely it's difficult. And it's definitely frustrating, when you see all the other coaches doing really well and they're posting all the time and posting all their success. And we're down here in the trenches trying to prime the pump and get this thing going. So I just really want to talk about, some of the things that are going right with your business, some of the challenges that you're having, and, maybe see what's going right if you discuss what's going right for you, it might, open up a discussion or be an idea for somebody else. So if you have any great ideas, we'll just kind of use it as an open forum and an open session to share ideas. I guess we'll Amanda, the other two, I guess, have stepped out for a second. So do you want to go ahead and open up and talk about, what challenges you're facing, what's going right for you, what are some of your near-term goals, and what?
Well, honestly, Jay, it has come to my mind recently that I even thought about quitting, but I just can't bring myself to do it because you know how we all have this passion and this drive that this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I have that, and so I know I'm not going to quit, but I have cut back tremendously because I was having that pull of not being able to commit completely to my family or to Beachbody.
Yeah.
After being in this for a year, I still cannot find a balance that I'm comfortable with. So that's definitely my biggest fault too. I have reached out to many other coaches and I don't know. I just can't seem to find what works with me because if I'm helping tons of people, which I enjoy to do, but I feel like I'm just lacking and losing my family life so much. So I don't know. I can't find that balance. So I'm not going to be much help for you there.
I think recently I kind of got to a point of critical mass. I was sacrificing so much, staying up late, sacrificing a lot of the things that kept me balanced. Like for me, like this year, I do a lot of endurance racing. And so I basically put all of that aside and got to a point like all these races were happening. All my friends are doing this. I'm like, I'm really missing out on all of this. And that was a big, like before Beachbody, I had a pretty big following because of all these different people that I met through this community.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like I've kind of alienated myself from some of my friends because of Beachbody.
Yeah.
And, on top of sacrificing family time because, you're getting text messages all the time, you're running challenge teams. It is extremely time consuming.
Very time consuming. Yeah. Actually, it was one of the things that really bothered me was my oldest boy kept telling me all the time how, Mom, you're always on the computer. You're always on your phone.
Yep. So,
which was true.
Yeah. And I felt the exact same way. I've been doing this for just about 6 months, and I had hit Success Club 10 every month except for last month. I basically, I listened to one of the national wake-up calls, and one of the coaches were talking about quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, if I listened to her, and she basically said that she had to slow down a little bit herself to grow her business. She decided to basically invest time in developing those relationships, those close-knit relationships, so she could develop the business leaders. Because I don't think I've been hitting Success Club 10, selling a lot of challenge packs. I've had pretty high conversion, but I'm not getting them to the business to become business builders. And I think that is what's key to making you become successful with this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be a challenge pack salesman. I want to develop business builders. So what I have done is I've kind of taken a tactical pause, and I'm like, I was getting really stressed out about achieving Success Club. which I know is critical to your business, and I probably set the bar a little bit too high because I made 10 a non-negotiable. That was really stressful. So I think I'm going to go down to 5 and then work on, just spending more time with the ones that have committed with me from the get-go and really work on developing my business builders. And to be honest, I had 2 business builders. I recently lost one, and I've got one that's 100% committed. So I'm going to, focus a lot of my time with her. I think what I was doing, I was putting too many people in my challenge teams, and I wasn't establishing those relationships. So I had some pretty high turnover, and I've had a bunch of those coaches go inactive on me. So I think I was doing too much too soon. And I know that I can sell the challenge packs, but I don't think that I would rather slow things down and build business builders myself. This is probably, counterintuitive to anything that Scotty would say or any, the other top coaches, but I've got to be realistic with my time frame and the time that I have available. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. That's how I'm kind of scaling back, because over the next 6 months, I've got very limited time with the workload that I'm going to have with school. So I've really looked at my activities that I've been doing over the last 6 months and really identifying, what things have been yielding me results. Because I started a blog, I started YouTube videos, I started making videos for Facebook, and I'm trying to condense to figure out if I can read my personal development, make a video, how can I turn that into a blog and basically have the same kind of content. So I'm being smarter with my content development, just in order to save time. So that's the personal development has really kept my mind focused to not quit, because it had crossed my mind as well. But I really enjoy helping people as well, and I don't want to completely stop what I've started. So the personal development, I think, is key. If you're not doing personal development, that's what's going to help keep you balanced. But I think it's imperative that you set specific time for yourself. You have to divide up. You got to look at everybody has the same amount of time throughout the week. You have 24 hours in a day. So you have to determine how many of those hours you're going to dedicate to Beachbody. That way, because if you don't manage your time, that's how you end up, your kids are like, hey, Dad, come spend time with me, but you're spending too much time with the Beachbody. You got to put it down. You've got to be able to put that down. And yes, you should set family time as well. And I think that's critical to maintain your balance, is to determine how much time a day that you're going to spend. And if you find extra time, then have some of those extra products on a list and try to get that done. But you got to do your critical tasks. And, like Scotty said, you got to set work hours. I believe that he's got pretty strict work hours. I think it's more difficult for us because he's doing this full time, and this is all he does. But for us, if our work hours are just, from 4 to 6 in the evening, that's what it is. You get 2 hours. Or you have a crazy schedule. Like I find myself when I've been on vacation, but when I'm working, I can get a half hour done between physical training and my when I start my job, and then an hour for lunch, and then a little bit of time in the evening, like maybe an hour. I can dedicate an hour, then a half an hour right before I go to bed. So it's kind of split up, but I've got my checklist, and I try to, those are my work hours. But if you don't set those hours, then you could easily bleed your family time and Beachbody in all together, and it gets really murky. Then you feel overwhelmed. And I'll be honest, I think I was doing that a little bit as well. I had some set work hours, but I was not following my own schedule like I should have. And it led to burnout on top of not doing the things that kept me sane as well. So
I have a question for you on the personal development, because that's one thing that has always gotten me. What exactly do you do for your personal development? I mean, I've gotten to where I do so much that I'm not for sure I'm doing what I should be doing. Like I listen to podcasts all the time. God-Centered Mom is one, which is more family-based. And then I listen to like Shailene Johnson. She's got her 2 that she does. I usually listen to both of them. Of course, we have our national wake-up calls and those calls to go back and listen over. And then you have your normal like book reading. But do you do two different sets, one that's like spiritually based or based on you and your family, and then one that is growing your business as well? Or do you just stick to like one or the other?
No, I personally do a few different ones. I've got my this is my weekly compass. It's in my planning guide, and it's got all the tasks. And what I have on here is for my spiritual growth is I will listen to 3 sermons a week, and they're half-hour sermons from one of my favorite pastors. And I try to do that maybe one Monday, Wednesday, Friday, kind of spread those out. So I'll do that on the drive to work. On the drive home, I'll listen to Chalene Johnson, or I really like Amy Porterfield. I'll listen to her podcasts. I listen to a couple, like I like Adam and Dr. Drew. They're a little bit more entertainment, but there is some personal development in that as well. And then I'm also plugging away on a book. So I try to either listen to a podcast or read a book, at least daily. And I try to make it a point, like I try to make a Facebook post or a video from the personal development that I have learned. And recently, that's one thing that I really enjoy, and that's really why I gravitated towards Scotty, is because I'm not going to be one of those coaches that's probably going to develop a whole lot of recipes and do a nutritional blog. That's just not me. I really enjoy personal development. I want to help people more than just physical fitness.
Right.
So I told Scotty the other day when I talked to him, like, hey, man, I'm really getting burned out. I really like the personal development. How can I continue to do that and make that a focus? And he's like, if that is your focus, part of your daily vitals is to do your physical, do your workout, drink your Shakeology, and then read your personal development. And then he's like, on his worst days, if there's nothing else, he does that first thing in the morning and he'll do his video and get it out of the way. So I'll do a post or a video, and that for me, if nothing else, if I'm not able to reach out to anybody about Beachbody, at least that I felt like I've contributed to the world and I've made myself better. And if you just do that, you're gonna grow and develop. And I've noticed by doing the personal development, I am connecting with people on a different level. They all know that I'm a Beachbody coach, but I think that you do really you start to develop your tribe, because your people. I've got people. I'm starting to notice more shares on my posts. I'm getting extra friends from other people, because some of my coaches or some of my people will share a post. They like what I say, and then somebody else sees it. And I think that you connect to people. They don't just think that you're a Beachbody coach salesman.
Right.
There are a lot of coaches. I think that we're in an awesome team because of Scotty and what he has developed, because I know a lot of coaches, and I've got them. And most of them are not doing videos. I can tell they're not doing personal development. I got a handful of coaches that's every day it's a selfie Shakeology. And that's technique, but I don't think you're really adding value. And I really do think that that's the biggest way that you're going to grow and develop your tribe, is by reading the personal development. And I don't, if you listen to a sermon or you listen to any personal development, you can make a quick Facebook post out of that. There's a line or something that's going to stick out to you. So what I'll do, if I'm hearing something on the road, I can't write it down, but I'll pause it or remember the timestamp, and I'll go back and listen to it again so I can make my Facebook post. Because it's something that stood out to me. If it stood out to you, then it's going to stand out to your tribe, the people that are following you, because you're relating to them in that way. If that makes sense. So I like a mixture of personal development. Going back to your original question, I like a mixture of stuff. And I'm trying to listen more while I'm working out. It was impossible doing Insanity and listening to personal development, but now that I'm doing Body Beast, it's much easier. So if you can, try it during your workout, because Body Beast is a much slower pace. So it's easier to listen to personal development while doing that. So
yeah, I tried doing some while I was with Sean T, and it was not going to happen. I couldn't focus and couldn't keep rhythm, and
yeah, it's impossible. So, but I do think it's incredibly important to do the personal development for sure. It's definitely changed my mindset, and I've read more books this year than I ever have. And in sharing that, it enables me to retain it more because I find that a lot of the things that I'm saying, it's kind of repetitive, or if I'm really hurting for a post, or because I try to post every day, I can just go back to something that I've talked about before. Listening to Amy Porterfield, a lot of the best people that if you watch your content, note the stuff that people share and like. And then you can reuse it again later because chances are people are going to forget it, or it was good enough that it's good enough that they'll read it again. But I think personal development is incredibly important in growing your business and growing yourself. So, all right. Who else would like? We had a few people pop on. So tonight it's kind of like an open question and answer. We're talking about what kind of fears you're facing, what kind of objections you're facing, what's going right with your business, what you're having troubles with, and anybody can chime in. And so if anybody's got any questions or anything they'd like to add, or unmute yourself and ask away. Garrett, Dana, Misty, Davala, is that how you say that? I see Trish Henning's on. Trish Henning's on. How you doing, Trish?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Looks like you've been off of work all week.
I have not shaved. It's been so awesome.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm like, I've never seen that before.
I know. For those of you who don't know, I'm in the Army, so we're required to shave every day. I've been on vacation, so I'm taking full advantage of it. I go back next week.
There's more hair here than
on my head. I know. So
I don't really have any questions, but I've just been plugging in and watching other Beachbody coaches and seeing all kinds of cool stuff lately that makes me just want to get up and start doing stuff because I see the things that they're doing and I'm like, that is so cool. And it's kind of crazy. You know how I named my page Mom on a Mission?
Yep.
One of the Beachbody coaches that I befriended and like started interacting with, she recently started a challenge group called Moms on a Mission.
Oh, awesome.
And I was like,
inspire into this.
Wow. I was like, she just started that last week and I started my page like a month ago or so.
Yep.
Well, 2 months ago. And I was like, I wonder if I was the source of inspiration for that. And I don't want to ask and then, I don't want it to be weird or awkward, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to use other people's ideas, but then I'm afraid that somebody will get mad and say, I sat up all night trying to come up with an idea and I finally came up with something and it was brilliant, and then you just go and use it. So I've been kind of conflicted. Like most of the Beachbody coaches seem very helpful and encouraging. Like if I've got an idea and you love it, use it. But then I struggle with, I don't want anybody to be upset because they poured over something and thought about it, and then it finally started putting everything together and somebody else just comes in and just swipes it because they were watching. Because like I'm not very creative, and so I'm trying to watch other coaches hoping that something will jump out at me and I'll go, yes, I feel that one. Like one of the coaches is doing a challenge called Butts and Guts, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I love it because what are women's two like main areas of challenge? Their butt and their gut. And I'm like, yes. So I don't know. I'm just seeing all these other coaches do stuff, and it's making me want to get up off my butt and actually like jump out there and start using some of these ideas too.
Well, what I found is if you like something, if you reach out to that coach and ask them, they'll usually say that it's awesome, because when people ask me, it's flattering. If I'm doing something and somebody else likes it, well, that makes you feel good, and by all means, use it. And I've got some really close relationships with a few coaches, and we've got this understanding that, hey, if you see it, don't even ask me. Just rip it, use it, make it your own. So I know for me and my coaches, and you're one of my coaches, you can use anything that I have, just make it your own. And a lot of coaches, for the most part, I think feel the same way. Just reach out to them and ask them, and they're flattered by it.
Yeah, I was a little floored when I was posting, or I was scrolling through my news feed, and I see this sponsored ad, which we know is a paid ad, and I'm like, challenge group, moms on a mission, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, it took me like 3 weeks to come up with some kind of title for my page, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And then at the same time, I was like, whoa, that's cool. Maybe she got that from me. Oh, that is so cool that I might have inspired something for somebody. And then, like I said, I've been seeing stuff from other people, and it's making me want to really dig in. I actually, a guy that Tom was in the Army with has been noticing all the weight that Tom's been losing, and he keeps asking him, like, dude, what are you doing? And Tom's like, talk to my wife. She's the one that feeds me. You know, she's the one that monitors what I eat. He's like, talk to her. She does all this exercise stuff, and she makes me do it too. And you'll be happy to know that Tom has never done the Shakeology with me until this week. I started sticking it in his lunchbox.
Nice.
Yeah, if I stick it in his lunchbox, he's like, I really don't have much choice. This is all I got for the day. So he even took some with him to DC today, or packed it in a suitcase last night. He took some to DC this weekend. That's
awesome. Oh, he'll love it. Speaking of Shakeology, everybody heard about the new flavor that's coming out, the cafe latte.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that one because I drink mine in the morning and I love coffee, and so I'm pretty stoked about this one. The last couple, the vanilla, the greenberry, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I am just excited. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm looking forward to it. That'll probably be my new bag.
I was hoping it'd be pumpkin spice or something.
Pumpkin spice would be good. There are some pumpkin recipes. I need to look that up and put that on our page.
Yeah, there are lots of pumpkin spice recipes. Something I wanted to chime in real quick that I do that may help you, Trish, is on my Word documents, I have one, folder. I have one folder that I just call random posts. And anytime that I do have a post that I really like that I've either come across, I'll copy and paste it, and then I put the person's name below where I got it, so I know that I need to reword it and make it my own or give them credit for it. And then also any posts like Jay said that you do that people seem to like, I take that and put it back in that document as well so I can reuse it later sometime when I'm in a rush and I've got to find some posts to get out there. So that's just something I do. It might help.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I know what Jay is talking about because I see stuff on Facebook all the time, and I'll save it, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I can use that later for something. The problem with me is, yeah, Jay knows I'm not really out there just yet. I'm like baby step, like snail. I saw a picture of a snail a while ago, approaching the finish line, and it was like, it doesn't matter how slow you go, just keep going. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm at right now, like snail pace. But I mean, I don't know. Jay knows I'll jump in there eventually. Like I will just, when I do, it'll be like unstoppable. But yeah, the whole watching everybody else and watching blog is just getting me excited. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that.
Trish is going to be a successful blogger. I know it.
I don't know about that.
That's going to be your niche. That's going to be your niche. So, I'll throw this out there. I guess I can't see most of you. Is everybody here doing personal development of some kind? Raise your hand. Thumb up. Are you? Awesome. Good. So I think the personal development is incredibly important, and I think it's what makes our team stand out from the other teams. And I do think that it keeps you mentally focused. When you hear objections, it doesn't rattle you as bad. And I think you offer more value than just being a Beachbody coach. And then I look at other multi-level marketing. Like I've got some of the people that do the wraps. Wow. The wrap people drive me insane. Because one, I think the product is absolutely horrible. There's one lady that's on my Facebook feed, and she talks about keeping snacks under her pillows and how she can eat anything she wants. And then she takes these pills, these fat blockers. There's a whole picture of them, like her and her team, like in this car eating Carl's Jr., and they've got their fat blocker pills. And I'm just like, but there's no that's what I love about Beachbody is the promotion of personal development and how, you know, it's all hard work, nutrition, and growing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I think the personal development's incredibly important. So does anybody want to talk about what they're doing that's going incredibly well for them? Anybody?
I don't know. I'm doing the things that Scotty says to do, just like posting videos. I had 2 people this week who wrote to me and said, "Hey, I've seen your videos and I really appreciate what you're trying to do with those. Keep up the good work," or whatever. And they're not people that I've even contacted yet, but that's good. You know, people are noticing, even though I'm not getting any likes or whatever. It could just be, you know, like Scotty posted today, Brigida, like Facebook stalked him for months before he even knew she wanted to be a coach. So
yeah,
there are people that are watching, so you just have to keep putting that stuff out there. And I think that Scotty's right, that's like one of the very best ways that you can get cold leads. So
I've had some people reach out to me through word of mouth. I had some folks from church who I don't know. They know me, but it's getting out there. So people know what I'm doing, and I think, you know, a lot of it, I think most of it is personal development. I hate every one of my videos. I really don't like it. I kind of fire and forget.
I couldn't tell.
Some are bad. Some people, they blow me away because they're like, I'm so inspired by this. I'm like, that video I thought kind of sucked, but I just threw it out there.
Never. I think you're just fine.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell that he doesn't like making videos because, I mean, he looks like he loves the camera, if you ask me.
No, I really don't. I am extremely uncomfortable doing it. But I know that What's that?
You know you're popular whenever the pastor uses your tagline in his.
No.
You know you're pretty popular when that happens.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just I encourage everybody to do it. I think it's I think that's what's going to separate you from everybody else is if you do that. It's obviously worked for Scotty incredibly well. It seems to be working.
It has, and the thing is that I agree. I haven't seen very many other people doing it. I've seen you and Misty, and not very many people.
Mark makes them. Sean Bergreen.
Oh yeah,
Bergreen.
Yeah, but that's only a few. That's a handful. That's
no,
not.
Right. I guess on our team there isn't that many that do it. But I tell you what, I'm incredibly uncomfortable doing it. But somebody commented to me not too long ago that they've noticed a change in me because I haven't been doing it all that long, but they're noticing that I'm becoming more confident. And it is getting easier to do them. I kind of feel like it's the one thing that I do that makes me get out of my comfort zone, and it's making me better. Because one, it's making the personal development that I'm reading stick. It's something that's really stuck out to me. And if you teach it, you know, you're gonna remember it, I think, easier. And then it does make an impact on people, regardless of how I think that I look or feel about myself. It does reach people. So I just encourage you to try it. Give it a shot. And I try to stick with under 3 minutes because that way people, I think if you go too long, people will tune out. But I don't know. I think it's important.
I to agree because, and I hate to say it, but there's a guy that I used to like his videos, but now he's making them like 12 minutes long, 15 minutes long, and I'm just like, okay, dude. I mean, like from the beginning, I told him I thought that they needed to be under 15 minutes, but I don't even watch them anymore because I just don't have 15 minutes to watch his videos.
Yeah, that's like you get a sitcom in, you know?
Yeah. Are you making?
So, but I encourage all of you. Hey, little girl. I encourage all of you to step outside your comfort zone next couple of days and just pick a topic and just riff on it for a couple minutes. Something that you're comfortable with, whether it be something spiritually. And I know some people they say stay away from politics or religion or whatever, but I think I kind of got on topic the other day about the gun control. I'm kind of passionate about that a little bit, and I think it's okay to kind of maybe throw something that you're kind of passionate out aside from health and fitness, just so you can kind of separate yourself and develop your tribe of people. Because you want your followers, and Shalene Johnson talks about it quite a bit, you want your tribe to be like you, because if they're like you, then you're going to develop more friendships with them, and you're going to be more, you're more like-minded type of people. So I'm going to try that just a little bit. I don't want to alienate people with politics, but a couple topics here and there I might kind of throw out there and see how that works. I definitely, I throw out some religious stuff. I used to be kind of leery about doing that. But if I see something that stands out to me, I'll throw that out there. And I do. I get people that reach out to me because of that. I don't overdo it, but just throw it out there. It's who I am,
Oh, they're exercising back there.
There's a couple folks exercising.
That's cool.
Usually there's somebody on this call that's getting with it on a treadmill or something, or insanity.
This guy, I see arms waving in the air, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Multitask.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Hey, Jay, I have one question for you.
Sure.
I know that, we're not supposed to use Craigslist to advertise like challenge packs, but you were using Craigslist to like announce your free eating challenge or something, weren't you? Is that what you were using it for?
I did. I got that 5-day clean eating guide, and then I used that to promote the free challenge team.
Okay, because I was wondering about that. I tried to post something on there, but it kept kicking me off because it wouldn't let me do it. I've never posted on Craigslist before, but it kept kicking me off because I put a link in there for my form to fill out for MailChimp, and it kept kicking me off because of that, so it wouldn't let me do that. But how do you have people contact you? Do they email you?
I have mine set up through Lead Pages, so it should be a very similar type of link. I haven't used it lately, but
so you use a link in your Craigslist post?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why it wouldn't let me do it.
I don't know. And then maybe they've recently changed it. I don't know. But you could have them email you as well.
Yeah, I might have to do that. I don't know.
The link is definitely easier because if they can just get it directly that way. But, yeah, in the past I haven't had any issue. Now, you definitely want to keep it as generic as possible on the Craigslist so you don't get flagged. But, I just kept my posts extremely generic. Hey, I'm doing a 5-day clean eating challenge. I'm offering you a free, 5-day menu, and then click the link and it sends it to them. But I hadn't had an issue before.
Okay. Well, I'll just try it again this next clean eating challenge that I do and see how that works out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they'd like to talk about? Garrett? I see you're unmuted. I see your eyes. Dana? Davala? I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Unmute yourself. I'm going to unmute you. How you doing? I can't unmute you. Hey, how you doing? I just unmuted you.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So what's going on with you? How are things going?
Oh, they're going. I've really just been doing personal development so far. I was a coach probably about 3 years ago, and I stopped because I had other stuff going on. And so recently, I think I got an email saying that I've been a coach for like 22 days or something like that. And basically, I've just been doing personal development. I've invited a few people to, start, or I'm going to do a challenge group. I'm a teacher. So, it's 8:30 here. I'm Central Time. And I literally got home at like 7. So I'm at school all day from like 7 a.m. to after tutoring 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And so a couple of the teachers we're going to get together and do 21-day fix in my classroom because I have a huge Promethean board and we're there all day anyway. We live there. So we're going to do it there.
Yeah.
But I'm at a point now where I've been teaching for 7-8 years now and I'm just tired. And so I'm looking to make this my career because I can't be in the classroom for another 20 years. I'm going to hurt somebody's child. Yes.
Well, I got a friend of mine who's a teacher, and she's a Beachbody coach, and she has her fit club, and they meet up once a week, and she's doing it that way. So I I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just I know my why now, and so that's what. Before I never did personal development. I was in and out. Like I guess I struggle with posts because I have to find the time throughout the day. I teach middle school, 8th grade, so I have to find the time throughout the day to even look at my phone to post anything or even look at someone else's post, because half the time when you do have a planning period, you have a meeting during your planning period or a conference. And so I'm at the point where it's time management with me. I'm trying to find a time to do everything. I guess that's my struggle.
It's difficult. As far as my posts, anytime that I try to take a post of my workout or my nutrition, or I'll try to do them together through one of those apps, and then I try to do something either funny or inspirational. So I'll scroll through, and if I don't have anything off the top of my head, I just look at somebody else's and just use that for inspiration. And then if I see stuff, I'll like it and keep the photo. And then I scroll through when I'm in a pinch, like say, when I'm working full time, I work some pretty long hours too. So at lunch hour, I'll go through and make my posts there. And then I'm always thinking a couple posts ahead. Most of my posts are pretty deliberate. It's gotten to become habit to where I'm thinking ahead, or something will inspire me. So I'll try to make my 3 posts a day, and then I'll always have I've already got a couple ideas for tomorrow. I don't know if that helps you at all, but if you maybe get a notepad or something, maybe write down some notes, or if you're able to make a Word document like Amanda does, something that you can kind of track that and just to make your life a little bit easier. Because it can get hectic because you can spend some time trying to develop a post. Some posts take a little time if they're good. If you're doing a quick exercise video or a how-to or a recipe, that could take you a few minutes to do that. But when you do have time available, like a Saturday, you might be able to line up, at least maybe your nutrition recipes for the week or something. Well, whatever it is that you're into, or some personal development, you can line those up. And that way, on the days that you're really tight on time, you can just throw those out there. But I think having consistent posts, like posting, 3 times a day, I think that's really critical.
Okay. I've been struggling there, and I'm not very techie. If it's not something education-wise, techie stuff I don't really do. So whenever Scotty with the videos, that's a struggle for me because I don't do. My students will teach me they taught me how to use Instagram. Yeah. So I'm not techie at all.
I know most of us are older, and here's what I've realized: if you don't learn this stuff, we're going to be left behind in the next decade or two. You've got to stay on top of it the best you can. And I think the easiest way to do that is listen to Chalene Johnson's podcast. She's got that 30-minute podcast. And then Amy Porterfield. Both of those two, they tell you everything and they teach you everything.
And was that you said? What? Wait, what was the last you said? Amy who?
Amy Porterfield is amazing.
Porterfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think her stuff's better than Chalene Johnson's because she gives out so much free stuff. Her podcasts are a little longer. Her background is that she used to work for Tony Robbins. So she's like a Facebook guru. She really breaks down Facebook. And I was on a webinar with her not too long ago, and she gave out a bunch of free stuff. She's always giving out free stuff. So if you sign up, go to her website, she'll give you a whole bunch of helpful tips about posting for your business. And her stuff is not like Chalene Johnson. She does cater to the Beachbody coaches a little bit more. Her stuff is just strictly entrepreneurs, but it's definitely she talks about multi-level marketers as well. So, but I think her stuff is incredible. So you've got to become a little bit of a student of this because I think leveraging social media is incredibly important to move your business along. And so, throwing a podcast in here and there. Now, there are lots of podcasts, and I was listening to one of Amy Porterfield's, and she's like, look, when you listen to this podcast, take down the notes and actually implement what I'm teaching you before you go on to the next one because you're going to overwhelm yourself. And I was finding myself doing that. Pick a couple of platforms that work for you. I use Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Those seem to be my top 3. Some people use Pinterest. There's multiple different things. master one, make one of those three like your priority. Like Facebook is my number one. I'll upload videos to Facebook, but then I throw those into, to YouTube, and then Instagram. I'll post on Instagram because you can easily post to Facebook as well. But I just, I haven't gotten any hot leads or cold leads from Instagram. I actually just started, and like I've got almost 2,000 Facebook friends. I've got like maybe 300 Instagram, but I just started like a couple months ago and I had less than 100. So slowly every day I'm adding friends on Instagram, and I still don't know how to use that one. It really kind of, all the hashtags kind of boggle me a little bit, but I'm slowly becoming a student of it. But you got to put yourself out there, and you got to use the, I think it's important to use the social media that works for you, and it's easier if it all kind of works together. I kind of dabble with Periscope a little bit. I like Periscope. I just don't know how to use it to my advantage yet. But does anybody else use any other type of social media that's working out for them? I think Facebook seems to be the number one thing.
I'm a little bit of allergic to technology.
You got to learn it a little bit.
I'm not kidding. In my car, I can't get the CD to come out of player. And, I'm pushing the eject button, and I'm like, what is going on? Is this thing jammed in there? And Tom will get in the car, and I'm like, it won't come out. I don't know if it's jammed in there. He pushes the eject button, and it comes right out. And I'm like, did you press it a certain way? So we have a long-standing joke about the eject button. I spent 3 days trying to print something, and finally he got it to work for me yesterday on our home printer. And I'm just, I think that's one of the things about this whole Beachbody business that worries me and makes me stall a little bit, or maybe a lot, is the technology part of it, because I use it, and I use it minimally, but I'm not big into all the apps and all the bells and the whistles, and I'm still using iPhone 4, I think. I don't even know what iPhone I have. I just know I have one. It's the only one I've ever used. And Tom keeps getting me to try and get a new one, and I'm like, is this one broken? No, I'll keep using it till it breaks. And he's like trying to get me to use apps that I don't know. I have a like page, and that's about as far as I've gotten. I haven't used any other. I had, though, been looking at Pinterest and trying to observe how people use Pinterest, because Josie Nicoy talks about getting customers and new clients, new challengers through Pinterest. I'm like, how do you do that? So I've been actually looking at Pinterest a little bit, because I know like that's where all the women in the world go, is Pinterest. So I thought that had to be a good platform I just don't know how to use it yet. I know how to use it to find stuff. I just don't know how to use it to draw people in. She does.
Yeah, it's just you just got to pick it, and pick the social media that you like to use, and then just become a student and learn how the advertisement works, the business aspect of it works. And if you look on YouTube, you'll find all sorts of videos that'll show you how to do different things. The knowledge is out there. You just kind of have to seek it a little bit and figure out where to go. Like Amy Porterfield is like a Facebook master. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there is like a Pinterest guru, and they probably have a podcast on it. I don't know who that person is, but I'm sure somebody out there is. Because there are a lot of businesses out there that are trying to leverage social media to grow what it is they're doing. So somebody out there has it. I don't think Pinterest is going to be for me. Trish, I could totally see that for you with all the recipes and everything else. I just look up on YouTube like how to use Pinterest, or there's probably a blog
right.
about it. And
I mean, there's some stuff that I figured out after talking. I don't know. There was a time that you and I had talked, and you're like, YouTube. There's a YouTube video for everything, and that was how I figured out how to make my like page. Is I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, I can do this. Yeah. There were some people that broke it down literally by the simplest step, by simple step. For people like me that need 10 pages of directions on how to do one thing, sometimes there were videos for it. So I realized that it's just I'm just not a real big technology person. I use it because I know I have to some extent, but I don't usually go above the bare minimum. And I realize that that's kind of a deal breaker for this, because social media is such a big platform to grow your business.
I think, you and I, we're about the same age. We're still fairly young in the grand scheme of things. As these younger generations come up, it's only going to get more complicated and more complicated. So my recommendation is just embrace it and learn it, and because it's only going to get more challenging.
I know. My daughter's coming home talking about it already, the things that they do at school.
Yep. And listening to Amy Porterfield and Chalene Johnson, and then, when Scotty went to Chalene's, one of her leadership conferences, when he came back and started using MailChimp, I found that there are a lot of people that aren't on social media at all. And so they're not – all these Beachbody coaches are using social media. They're using Facebook primarily. But there are a lot of people out there that aren't doing challenges via email. So I started my email campaign, and I haven't done it for my 21-day challenge team yet, but for my 5-day clean eating challenge team, you'll get like a daily email as well as the Facebook feed. And I really like MailChimp because it's free, it's easy to use. You can reach out to those people that don't have Facebook, and it's just – to develop it I want to develop one for my 21-day challenge team. I just got to figure out what content and just basically find the time to sit down and develop it. But I think email marketing is another social platform because one thing that Chalene Johnson said was that she got hacked and lost lost her page. And it's happened to a lot of people. Your email list is your personal email list, whereas your Facebook page is not yours. So if it gets hacked, you could lose all your contacts and everything off that. So just keep that in mind as you build your business. The one thing that the pros constantly stress is make an email list and use one of those other platforms in conjunction with your other. And I just basically I make one weekly email and I try to make it something of value. I'll throw a recipe out there or some tips, fitness tips or something. Let them know that, hey, I got another challenge team coming up, and, just to keep in contact with people. So just another suggestion if you're not doing that. MailChimp is free for the first 1,000 people. I don't know what it is after that. 1,000 people is a lot of people, so it'll take me a while to get there. But really simple and easy to make, emails. You can make professional-looking ones. You can keep it simple, but pretty easy to do. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about, or questions or issues they're having? Carl, are you there? I just unmuted you. Garrett, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, man. Your turn to talk for a second.
I'm kind of a new coach, so I don't have much to say. I'm just kind of trying to learn from you guys.
How long have you been coaching?
About 2 weeks.
Okay, so just get started then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what questions do you have? Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Not right off the top of my head. Do you have any questions, sweetie?
Not right now.
Yeah, I think we're doing all right. We're just kind of focusing on, workout still and getting that us taken care of, and then we can focus more on, trying to get other people underneath us.
Awesome. I know a lot of people get wrapped up with how they look, and just a reminder to everybody that, you are most relatable now going through your journey. So just invite people on your journey with you. Go ahead and throw out a challenge team date. When I did my challenge team, my first one, I really just needed accountability partners for myself, and it worked out really well. I just posted daily what just kind of came to my head and kind of got in a groove with that. And I'm still refining my challenge teams every time that I do it. So I would encourage you to pick a date and just start one and invite a couple people to it.
Yeah. We've been doing workouts for a little over 3 months now.
Awesome.
We did 21 Day Fix Extreme 3 times, and now we're doing Body Beast. So I got my wife. She's my accountability partner.
Awesome. No, I'm doing Body Beast too. I really like that program. So
yeah, we love it. It's great. I love Sagi. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying the hammer and chisel. I know some people have started that one already, or at least it's on Beachbody On Demand, I guess, a couple of the workouts. So
yeah, I previewed a little bit of it on Beachbody Demand, and it looks like a pretty good one.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the team. You're part of a large group of coaches. So
thank you.
I would recommend to all of you, if you don't have like a success partner, somebody like Misty, she's not on anymore. She's my success partner. I've teamed up with Lacey quite a bit. Find a couple coaches that you can work with like on a daily basis just to keep tabs. Because when you're kind of hit your slump or whatever, you've got that person that your battle buddy. It's kind of like we use in the Army, that term battle buddy. You got your partner next to you. I love Scotty to death, but he's really incredibly busy. He's hard to get a hold of. And so it can take a day or two to get a response from him. But find somebody that's maybe just a couple steps ahead of you, but almost in the same boat that you're in. And then if you can, try to find a mentor who is, maybe a 1 or 2 star that's a little bit more accessible. Try to reach out to those people and for questions, for quick questions. Scotty's done an amazing job. He's got videos on everything, but sometimes you just need to talk to somebody, So I think that's key to success. I think I know it's helped me to have Lacey and Misty and some other folks that are, that started about the same time that I did to keep me on even keel. We played each other's strengths and weaknesses. So.
Okay, that's a good thing to know. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Does everybody have a success partner? Amanda, do you have one? Amanda's muted. Do you have a success partner? You do? Awesome. Carl, do you have a success partner? No? You got to find one, man. How long have you been coaching, Carl? He's on the chat if you can. He doesn't have a mic. Trish, do you have a success partner?
I think you know the story to that one. Eventually, it'll be you.
Just started. Awesome.
Did you hear me?
I heard.
Eventually, it'll be you.
Let's get started.
But I was thinking something too, that one of my things is that, like, you knew I ran that half this weekend. And there's a particular picture on my Facebook that everybody keeps liking. And every time I see a notification that somebody likes this picture, I just cringe. It is the one of Savannah and me running towards the finish line. And I'm like, my gosh, my butt looks so much better back in May. I'm like, what the crap have I done? And over the summer, I've been exercising, I've been eating right, I've been running. I'm like, why does my butt look huge? So it was kind of some motivation this week. I'm like, yeah, I need to go back to what I was doing back in April, the very first challenge group, whenever I was just obsessed. This was all brand new. I've noticed that for me, something is new and it's exciting and I tackle it. Then the new kind of wears off. Yeah. And the interest kind of wears off. And I'm still doing my workouts, but I don't think I'm doing them with as much gusto as I used to. And I'm just not happy with that. And I thought about, last month I talked about how I want to be a product of the product. Nobody's going to want to use these products from me if I can't show something for it. But then I realized over the weekend that with my roly-poly, motherly, rotund, round, soft body, I did something and nobody cared. All they cared about was what I did. They didn't care about what I looked like. They didn't care about how in shape or not in shape I was. Everybody was just motivated and inspired, encouraged, and said so many people said so much awesome things to me about what I did. And I'm like, I don't have to have like this perfect 21-day fixed body to show them that they can still do this, because something that I realized over the weekend is that you have those people that are really fit and trim and have these wonderful slender figures. Then you have these people that, they're wider in the hips, wider in the waistline. But it doesn't mean that they're not just as strong as the slim, slender, in shape people that, when you work out every day and you eat right, you grow stronger. Sometimes the outside just doesn't take shape as quickly. So, I don't know. I want to start digging into things and just not worry about what people think, or somebody will follow along. I know somebody will.
To me, that's what's great about the Beachbody Coaching Network is, you don't have to be the personal trainer. You don't have to be a licensed nutritionist. They have all that. You just have to be a coach and a friend and a mentor to somebody who's struggling. Because that's the key. That's the missing ingredient with the products is finishing them. I know a lot of people that have P90X who haven't finished it. And most of the coaches, I've invited some folks to Super Saturday, and I know, like, talking to Ann, she's committed to going, but she just thinks that everybody's going to be like fit and just ripped. And I'm like, Ann, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be surprised.
Do you remember the diamond coach that got up on the stage and was one of the speakers? She was very short, and she was not slender or slim at all. She was actually a very rounded person, but she had lost what was like 50 or 60 pounds up to that point.
Yep, she's still on.
To watch her do the workout, like, she was busting through that workout. I'm going, and watching her bust through it, I'm like, she's not even breathing hard. And that's my point, is that, like, you get strong, you get better and you get stronger, even though the outside package may not match what the inside package is. Yeah. And that was something me and some of the body blasters were talking about this weekend, is that we may all look different on the outside, but you shouldn't judge someone by the way they look on the outside, because they could be working out all the time and they could actually be really strong and you just don't know it. But the outside sometimes just takes longer to catch up.
Yep. And same thing with going to Summit. I mean, 25,000 people, all walks of life, all different shapes and sizes. Some people incredibly ripped. Most people just looked average. And there's no judging in the Beachbody world. I mean, everybody's on their journey. So that's what I like about it. And it doesn't, you just have to just be motivating and inspiring. Tony Horton and the trainers, they do a great job of that when you have them, but people need to see real people and they need real interaction with other people that are having the same struggles. That's what I like about Beachbodies, because we all have our struggles. Mine's beer and pizza and ice cream. I hit the ice cream shot today. We all struggle. Nutrition is not my it's not my strong suit. I can kill an insanity workout. I can run 10 miles, but nutrition is my weakness. It's my kryptonite. So, but we're all as real people and just trying to be better. And that's what I like about Beachbody. It's all about being a better person, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I've seen coaches. I've been doing this long enough, and seen coaches like Josie Nikoi constantly like up and down. It's a struggle for a lot of the coaches, but it is a better lifestyle than they had been living. There's some coaches out there that just aren't ripped, and I don't know if they ever will be. They're doing pretty good. They're definitely much better than they used to be. But I think there's a human factor to this. I don't know. I'm starting to see some of a six-pack, but I like the six-pack that's in my fridge better than what's on my stomach. And I'm going to be honest, and I don't, do I want the six-pack? Yes, but I don't know if I want it more than, those moments of weakness. Now, I don't drink nearly as much as I used to, but that's a real struggle for me.
You just said it though. You don't drink as much.
So when is the next Super Saturday?
October 17th.
Okay.
If you haven't been, you got to go. It's awesome. I've got to drive 2 hours to get to mine. I was reluctant the first time that I went, but when I went, it really sealed the deal for me as far as being a coach. You're going to meet incredible people. Hopefully your Super Saturday is pretty energetic. I know ours is. We've got the Natonis coming down, Darren and, what's her name? Fit and Funky.
Danielle
and Darren. They're both like they've been in the Insanity Max workouts. They're like Sean T's best friends. Met them at when I did my Insanity certification at Summit. They were there. The trainers. They're excellent. So I don't know who's coming to your Super Saturday, but a lot of people will. They'll have like some of the celebrity trainers come out. Sometimes Carl Deichler will show up. So last time we did like a diamond coach panel. We didn't have anybody exciting in our last one. The one before we had Mark Briggs from P90X. He destroyed us. But he's a really motivational guy. He was in all the P90X videos. Former Army Special Forces and police officer. I really like him. He's a good dude. So, but go to your Super Saturday. Totally worth it. Even if you have to travel, go.
Yeah, we will.
So, does anybody else have any questions? It's been about an hour. we've been kind of rambling tonight. Hopefully you guys got some value out of what we talked about so far. Any last questions, final thoughts? Well, good luck. Super Saturday, make that, definitely try to get your next Super Saturday. Meet other coaches, add them to your Facebook network. Find a success partner if you don't have one yet. And, it's not an easy business, but it's totally worthwhile if you give it your all. But you got to find balance. Like, I don't know if Amanda and I were both talking. We kind of went at it, and we've kind of felt ourselves kind of giving too much. Amanda's thought about quitting. Don't quit. This is awesome. I had started back in 08 and had quit, and I really wish that I would have kept up since then. That's back when the coaching network was really small. You're still getting in at an incredibly great time. It will change you. You just got to find the right balance that's going to work for you and your schedule. And just you got to figure out what your why is, and if your why is powerful enough in those moments of weakness, that's what's going to get you through. And I'm going to be honest, I'm really struggling right now with my daily activities. I'm doing what makes me feel good and what I know will keep me going, but I'm not doing everything that I need to do to grow my business just because of my workload is about to spike and I kind of got burned out. But I'm not quitting. It had crossed my mind. But in talking to Scotty and I mean, really just talking to Scotty and having a success partner and having my other coaches that are looking up to me is what really keeps me motivated to keep going. So just know that in talking to the successful coaches, they're going to tell you the same thing, that they've had some struggles. But, find what works for you. And if you have a success partner, it'll definitely help you out. So.
In your struggle, you find your strength, right?
Exactly. You do. Find what you're made of, for sure. But I know it's going to pay off in the long run by doing it. I've already just by doing this, I've already made new friendships, and I've cut out a lot of bad habits. Like I don't watch nearly as much TV as I used to. So even the work that I'm doing is positive. I just have to make sure I have the right work family balance and right personal balance. I'm doing the things that keep me sane. But all in all, the whole Beachbody thing is great. Yeah. You're helping people, and you're improving yourself. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But it's
well,
hard.
Thank you, Jay. I think you did a great job tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thanks everybody for hopping on tonight. I know I'm not as cool as Scotty, but appreciate you guys being here. And I know that this is we're still starting, so it's definitely like we're in the hardest phase of this. So just keep plugging away, and eventually we'll get. I saw this post from Brigida who made $1 million doing this. She's in the $1 million club today. That's pretty inspiring. They're just regular people. When you meet these people at Summit or your Super Saturday, the ones that have been super successful, they're normal people just like you and I. They just stuck it out, and they were consistent, and they found their niche. So whatever it is that you do that you're good at, just keep doing it and find that balance, and I think you'll be successful. So, but that's all I got. You guys have a great night, and if we're not Facebook friends, add me, and if you guys need anything, shoot me a message. So it's good seeing you guys. You guys have a good one. I will record this. I recorded this, so I'll put up the recording, and you guys can share it if you'd like. So, Carl's on. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.